Hey everybody, welcome to Lamb Living. My name is Holly Lamb and this is Toby. We're outside on the deck and we are excited about the Napkin Exchange Challenge for April. This April I was challenged to make a faux wagon. More about that later and Sarah's challenge to me. But before we do the wagon, I got inspired to do a different type of decoupage on the wagon from this little project I made for school. This, after spring break every year for the past 2 years, this is our third year doing ukuleles. We get out the ukuleles at my school and everybody, kindergarten through 5th grade, plays ukuleles to the end of the school year. I do that to keep their attention, and you can see that pretty napkin I'm putting on my pineapple here, and just for a lot of fun. And we play for several weeks with my little classroom set of ukuleles that the PTA bought for my classroom a few years ago. And so I decorate my classroom and my bulletin board outside in the hallway in a Hawaiian style. So this pineapple has been up and down a couple of times already, and it was looking a little worse for wear. So I thought I'd bring it home and give it a new life, give it a new look. And I knew I had these musical napkins that I ordered from Amazon last, fall sometime. And so I thought I'm going to go ahead and just decoupage this napkin on top of this pineapple to jazz it up for my bulletin board in the hallway. I like to put out lots of decorations in my room, but also I have a bulletin board that I keep up in the hallway, and I like to keep them thinking as they go to, recess or the gym or to the media center or wherever they're headed, cafeteria. I like to keep them thinking about different things that I teach them, the terms and the strings and whatnot. And so I made this cute little pineapple for my bulletin board, and there it is. I just kind of pieced together this music napkin. It's just straight music, nothing, it's kind of sideways, so I just pieced it together. Luckily, it's very linear, so I didn't have to tear the edges or anything. It just lined right up. And so I used my Mod Podge. Now, you saw that Mod Podge was at its very end. I was using the chunkies out of it and all the mess because this is for school, and so like props for school, I don't, get too crazy, and they don't have to be super perfect. But I was doing it on parchment, and then I had put down some wax paper. Well, the wax paper stuck to the back, which is, there's just this flimsy cardboard. And I thought, yes, I think that wax paper would be just the thing to give this a little bit more oomph and a little bit more, stability. And so hopefully my pineapple will live a few more years after this. And so I went ahead and just I'm just scraping the bottom of the jar of this Mod Podge that I've used in the last couple of videos. And so here I go, and I'm trying to, just get everything I can out. And when I couldn't get anything else, I pulled out some glue stick. And of course, that's the Jot brand from Dollar Tree. And I get those in a big old pack. What is there, about 8 in a pack? Well, I've got these rolling around in my basket beside me, in the junk drawer in the kitchen, in my craft room up there in my drawer. I've got them everywhere. And so I went ahead and put those on and got my wax paper on there. And there we go. That Jot glue stick dried up so soft and so perfect on the back of this wax paper on this beautiful pineapple. There's my bulletin board out in the hallway. And didn't that dress up nicely? I could have just put that pineapple there and maybe got one more year out of it. But now I think that pineapple is ready for a couple of more years of ukulele. And there we go. So there is Sarah from Sunflowers and DIYing. And she gave me a challenge to make a faux wagon. We didn't exchange napkins this month. We just exchanged challenges. Well, I've never made a wagon before, so when I was in Joann Fabrics and was perusing the decor aisle, I always look for the napkins, And they had mushrooms everywhere, mushrooms here, mushrooms there, and it was so cute. And I love this color. Look at the sage green and the coral orange, and then that navy blue. That was just screaming my colors, and so those came home with me. So in this video, I'm actually going to give you, along with my pineapple, which was kind of a bonus, I'm going to give you 3 decoupage ideas in this wagon. So I have this, it's kind of a basket for utensils that I use outside when we have people over for the deck and when we eat outside. And I decided I'm going to make this into a wagon, so my wagon will be more than just decorative. It'll be useful. It'll be functional for the deck outside. That's why we started out in the deck on the beginning of this video. I ordered these wheels from Amazon, 4 wheels. They're just craft wheels. They're not supposed to hold up anything, so I didn't feel like I needed to make them super sturdy or anything. You'll see how I finagle that here in just a few minutes. But I wanted to keep this basket. I like the color. I didn't want to change it too terribly much, but I definitely wanted to put my mushroom napkins on this the sides and keep the trim in that basket color, because that matches my, we call it, outside on our deck, we have what we call the general store. And it's some shelves that my husband found at the Restore one time. And so we're going to put it out there, and that matches anyway, that basket. All right, so I'm going to be putting napkin on the wheel on the unfinished wood side. So I'm going to take this two-tone napkin from Party City. And Party City, every time I go in there, it always has the same sale, 3 for $10 on their guest house. And so I usually pick up a set of 3 for $10 because I love them. I think they look great. I've used them in a couple of videos now. I've used that blue one with the white flowers, and then we're going to use these at the end as well. But this, I wanted something different than those mushrooms for the wheels. And I'm going to leave the stain side, which is exactly the same color as my basket for utensils. I'm going to leave that side plain. And then I'm going to cover this unfinished wood side with the napkin. And so I didn't feel like I needed to paint it white or that plaster chalk paint like I did before, because it was already light in color. So here comes the Jot glue stick, and I just put it all over this wheel, and there we go. Look at that. Perfect. I go back and put the Jot glue stick on top as well. And so I did 2 wheels in the Jot brand, and then I also had this Elmer's with the Vanishing purple glue. And I wanted to see what the 2 different, if they were different at all or if they would turn out the same. So I went ahead and did this one. And obviously the benefit here is I could see where the glue was and I didn't miss any spots. And so I did the same thing. I just patted it down and then I went back over it. I don't know if I show you that, but with the glue stick. And there we go. So I did 2 with the Elmer's and 2 with the Jot. And so here I go with my X-Acto knife from the Dollar Tree, and then some scissors also from the Dollar Tree, and then I use my nail files that I order from Amazon. These are my favorites. I get these in a big old pack, and they last for a really long time. I've ordered, I think I'm on my 2nd order, and I just love them. And so they've got kind of a coarse grit. I also get a different kind. They're a little smaller, but I like these because they're really long. And then I use, for the outside of the wheel, I use my Dollar Tree sanding block, and it did a great job. So that was the Jot. Beautiful. Everything stayed on. I didn't have any napkin coming up. And as you can tell, I mean, I have this sped up, obviously, but you can tell I'm not being super gentle with this. These wheels were, they're decorative, but they're thick enough to hold on to stuff. And so the Elmer's did great as well. And so now I'm going to put this beautiful Joann Fabrics napkin on the side of the main basket, the main part of our wagon. And it was 3-ply. The ones from Party City were just 2-ply, so I only had to pull off one part. But here goes the second layer. So this is the third layer is what we're going to put on the basket, that part that I painted in the plaster chalk paint by Waverly. And I tear off, every napkin has kind of a nap, and so you can tear one way very easily and nice and straight, but the other way, you have to cut it. It won't tear easily. It will tear, but it won't tear easily. It won't tear straight. So I went ahead and tore it down the way. Luckily, that was the way I wanted it to go, because when I piece these back together, I'm going to make a little template here of the side. There we go. And then I'm going to lay my two. I took the plies off 2, and I have 2 napkins here of the top layer. And then I'm going to cut these strips with the, the mushrooms. And the ends were the torn part. That tore nice and easily, so that will go together nicely together, and you'll never see those seams, especially with this busy pattern. I try to match up the colors, and so those seams just disappear into one another since they're torn. But the cut parts are going up against that trim anyway, so it really didn't even matter once I started putting this decoupage medium on them. Now I'm using the Aleene's decoupage medium, and I get this at Walmart. And I find that this works just as well as the Mod Podge. And it isn't a matte finish, and it, of course, has a little bit of sheen, but so does matte Mod Podge. So I find them to work just about the same, really. I go ahead and cover that with my little strips, and this turns out so pretty. I can't wait till I zoom in on this at the end result. I'll show you here in just a minute how this just kind of took on, I think some of the tannins came through from the basket, from the whatever stain they put on this before. It just turned out beautifully. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to put some extra little things inside to put my utensils, my plastic utensils in, the different compartments of my basket. So I'm off at the Dollar Tree looking at the all the different votive holders and whatnot, and I end up with these because I knew that these 2 colors were in my napkin. And I also got a couple of Crafter Square paint brushes, and so I like to beat them up a little bit just in case any bristles are wanting to come out, but honestly they were very well put together, and we'll use those in just a minute. All right, so here's what the little dessert napkins, or the cocktail napkins, come into play with the little mushrooms that are so cute, kind of off by themselves. And so I didn't dare put them on the green or that coral color because they would not have shown up, especially that coral color. It would have blended right into that little vase or that little votive or whatever we're calling these. They were nice and tall and skinny, and that's what I was looking for at the Dollar Tree. And so I'm going to tear these little napkins kind of into 2 pieces. I'm going to put 2 sets of these on each one of our little votive holders. We'll just call it that. They're going to be for my straws and utensils and a few other little things you'll see at the end there. And so they very easily went on. I did the plaster chalk paint. I did 2 coats because I didn't worry about it being perfectly covered, but I wanted it, pretty covered because this is a white napkin. It's going to show through. These were also 3-ply. So all the ones from Joann, they were really nice napkins, and I think they were $5.99 on regular price, and of course you can always I got them for 40% off, but probably you could do better now. All right, so we're continuing to put 2 halves on each one of these and line up that little kind of squiggly mark there at the bottom. We line those right up there, no problems. And then there it is. There's that other napkin on the basket. See how the tannins kind of came through? Love how that looks. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I wanted to have something underneath the basket to support those wheels. Even though the wheels are wooden, they still are decorative, and I really didn't have any confidence that they were going to hold up that heavy basket because that basket had a wood bottom. I mean, it's a really nice basket. I used that, I use that outside. That's something I use. So I had this little basket, and even though I liked the way it looked, and I had been using it for my oranges in the kitchen, it was a nice sturdy basket. It has those kind of bones inside where the wood kind of goes down in, the wood handle. So I cut that wood handle off the top, and I'm going to use it. I wanted it to kind of disappear underneath the wagon, this faux wagon. So I'm going to use my Fix All adhesive. Whoops, it's upside down. And I'm going to use my Gorilla Glue sticks with my hot glue gun and put it on underneath. Have y'all got one of these little jar openers? They're great. Even for teeny tiny little things like the Fix All adhesive, they opened it right up. And I've used this one before, so it had Fix All adhesive on it. It was really tight. So those are really nice. I got that, I used to be a Pampered Chef consultant, and that's one of those Pampered Chef items that I will always have to the end of my days. It will be super useful. All right. So anyway, I put a little Fix All adhesive on there, and then on the parts where I didn't put the Fix All, I put hot glue. I don't mix them. I put little sections of both. And then there you can kind of see it down there. I'm taking my antiquing wax that I put on the basket to make it disappear, make it a little darker and disappear. I'm going to put that on any white plaster paint that came through the basket. I'm just going to dab a little bit of antiquing wax on so it also disappears. And we get that nice, stained look all the way through. So the stained part of the wheel goes inside, and the pretty decoupage side with the jot glue sticks are going on the outside. Now it was a little bit of the trim kind of stuck out, so I had to put some popsicle sticks there on the interior of the wheel so that it would hot glue nice and flat. Again, these wheels are not taking any weight. That basket is on underneath. I'm going to put some, you can't even see that basket. It's kind of disappearing, but it's also giving it support. So I do that on both sides, and it's looking so cute. I just love it so much. Now, to go in the inside of the wheel, I take these little puffy stickers, and I'm just going to give them 2 coats of plaster chalk paint. I'm getting to the bottom of that plaster chalk paint, too. And it's nice, and because it's at the bottom, it's nice and thick and chunky. After that dries, I'm just putting a little my Waverly antiquing wax that I've been using off and on here on top, which gives it kind of a wood grain look. And then I'm going to put that with a little hot glue. Love my Surebounder hot glue gun and Gorilla Glue sticks. Everything sticks. Love those things. And they're going right on all 4 wheels. Just the perfect little finishing touch to my faux wagon. Sarah, what do you think? I have never made a wagon before. Thank goodness it was faux. I don't think I could put together all the workings to make it real, because I am a music teacher, not an engineer. So here it is out in our general store. Here we go. Toby loves to sit out there with me. He's always with me. All right, so here is my wagon. I just love how it looks. And our little votive jars with the mushrooms on them for the straws and the utensils and some serving items. And there's those napkins. And look how beautiful that napkin from Joann Fabrics looks. Those mushrooms are, I'm just going to do some more with mushrooms. I am all in. I'm going to fill this general store cabinet with mushrooms. I'm just feeling inspired. Oh, and that Queen Anne's lace, that is from the Dollar Tree. I love it. Anytime I see that Queen Anne's lace from the Dollar Tree, I pick up whatever color it's in. I've got purple, I got yellow, I've got all kinds. And I think my faux wagon for outside picnics and eating out on the deck is just perfect. All 3 napkins kind of go together. That 2-tone napkin from Party City goes right along with it, and I'm just tickled with it. I like how it turned out. Very nice. It's good. This shelving unit's a good place to display my copper molds. And then a little bird couple has built a nest. Do you see it up there in that bucket from the Dollar General? Oh yes, I didn't dare go up anywhere near that and redecorate because that bird was up there and I don't get near that bird. That is very aggressive, we'll say. So I want to leave you with Job from chapter 12, verses 7 through 10. He said, "But ask the animals, and they will teach you, or the birds of the sky, and they will tell you, or speak to the earth, and it will teach you, or let the fish in the sea inform you. Which of all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In his hand is the life of every creature and the breath of all mankind." I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you'll like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. So from the Blue